Good evening, Dhamma friends. Welcome back to the OPRC class, online Pali reading class.
Good evening, Bhante.
Good evening.
Good evening, Bhante and everyone.
Good evening.
Good evening, Bhante, and
Good evening.
everybody.
Yes. We'll take a moment of time for others to come in. Yes, good evening.
Good evening, Bhante.
Good evening.
Good evening, Bhante.
Good evening. All right, shall we get started by respecting the Buddha 3 times? Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Right. So by last Thursday, what we have been covering was, I think, the stanza number 7. And today I will be discussing 2 stanzas, because I'm thinking that so next Thursday, possible we can finish the Metta Sutta, then can go to the last stanza. So that's why I picked up 2. All right, so let's take a look at the Sutta. Right, 8 and 9. Mettancha sabbalu kasmin manasang bhavaye aparimanang uddhang adhocha tiriyancha asangbadhang averang asapatta. Mettancha sabbalu kasmin manasang bhavaye aparimanang uddhang adhocha tiriyancha asangbadhang averang asapatta. All right, so we will be then going to ask groups to recite or read. On that note, I will be asking group 1, somebody from group 1 to read. Anybody? Yes, Ike. Please go ahead.
Thank you, Bhante.
Yes.
Mettancha sabalokasmi manasam bhavaye aparimanam uddam adocha triyancha asambadam averam asapatam.
Yeah, asangbadhang averang asapatta.
Asambadam averam asapadam.
Asapatta. Okay, good.
Asapadam.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Then group 2. Yeah, someone from group 2 is Anne. Are you from group 2?
No, Bhante, I'm from group 1.
Okay, I'll give you the chance after.
Okay, thank you, Bhante.
Anybody from group 2? Yes. Yes, Susan, please go ahead.
Thank you, Bhante.
Hi. You want to read?
Yes, thank you.
Yes, please.
Metancha sabal lokasmi manasam bhavaye apirimanam udam adhocha tiriyancha asambadam avaram asapatam.
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 Okay, good. Good.
Thank you.
Great. And then group 3? Yes, Japan. Let's go ahead.
Thank you, Bhante. Metancha sabalokasmin manasam bawaye aparimanam udang ado tiriyancha asambadam aviram asapatam.
Okay, great.
Okay.
And then group 4. Yes, Kebion, please.
Thank you, Bhante.
Yes.
Metta sabalukasmi manasang bawaye aparimanang udang adocha tiriyancha asabadang avirang asapatang.
Yeah, asambadhang aviram asapat.
Thank
Okay,
you, Bhante.
great. And group 5. Yes, Melita, please go ahead.
Thank you, Bhante. Try to read, because having flu also after back from
Okay,
pilgrimage. Okay, I try to read.
yes, please.
Metam cha sabalokasmi manasam bhavaye aparimanam udom ado cha tiriyancha asampadam aviram asapatam.
Okay, great. I think there is
Thank
a
you.
small typo over here. I'm going to actually edit that. Mettancha sabba lo kasmi. There was a M missing over here.
Oh.
I'm going to add that one actually, just to make sure. Should be an M. Lo kasmi. Okay. Should be okay now. Actually, some texts go by lo kasmi, but lo kasmi. All right, group 6 then. Yes, TC.
Thank you. Metangcha sabba lokasmin. Manasam babaye aparimanang. Udang adocha tiriyancha. Asambadang averam asapatang.
Great.
Thank you.
And group 7? Someone from group 7, please. Group 8. Yes. Let's go ahead.
Thank you, Bhante.
Yes, please.
Metancha sabah lokasmin manasam bawaye aparimanam udam adocha tiriyancha asambadam aviram asapadam.
Okay, great.
Thank
All
you,
right.
Bhante.
Okay, giving the chance to others. Can start with Anne Seo. Please go ahead. Yes, Anne, please.
Thank you, Bhante.
Yes.
Metancha sabalokasmin manasang bahwaye aparimanang udang adocha tiriyancha asambadang aviram asapatang.
Okay, good.
Thank you.
And we have, right. Yes, Oi, please go ahead.
Thank you, Bhante.
Yes.
Metancha sabalokasmin manasam bawaye aparimanang udang adocha tiriyancha asambadang avirang asapatang.
Okay, great.
Thank
And
you,
we have,
Bhante.
yes, and Jenny, please.
Thank you, Bhante.
Yes.
Metancha saber los kasmin, manasang bawaye aparimanang. Udang adocha tiriyancha, asang badang awerang asa patang.
Okay, great.
Thank
Anybody
you.
else? Just put you on, please.
Sorry, Bhante, I was
Yes.
just testing whether I raised hand or not. So sorry. Okay.
Yeah.
Metancha sabalokasmin manasang bhavaye aparimanam udang ado chatiriyancha asambadang averang asapatang.
Yeah, great. Don't need to test.
Thank you.
Yes, rest assured. Okay, CHL, yes.
Okay, thank you,
Thank you.
Bhante.
What happened?
Yes.
Mettangcha sabha lokasmin manasam bhavaye aparimanam udam adocha tiriyancha asambadam aviram asapatang.
Asambadham averam asapat.
Asambadam aviram asapatang.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yes, great.
Okay,
And then we
thank
have
you.
9 Chen, yes.
Thank you, Bhante.
Yes.
Metangcha sabba lokasmin. Manasang bhavaye aparimanang. Uddang ado cha tiriyan cha asambadang avirang asapatang.
Okay, great.
Thank you, Bhante.
We have Billy.
Bhante, good evening.
Yes, good evening. Yes.
Sorry, I'm in the car. Metangcha sabba lokasmin manasang bhavaye aparimanang. Udang adocha tiriyan asam badang averang asapatang.
Udang adocha tiriyan, right?
Huh?
I think I didn't hear that part. Udang adocha tiriyan.
Udang adocha tiriyancha.
Yeah. Okay, great.
Asam. Okay, thank you.
Yeah. We have Paripuna, please.
Evening, Bhante.
Yes.
Metancha sabha lokasmin.
I don't hear you properly, maybe. Maybe I'm gonna increase my volume. Yes. Please go ahead. Yes.
Sabha
Okay, now.
lokasmin. Okay.
Yes.
Metancha sabha lokasmin manasam bhavaye aparimanam. Udam ado cha tiriyancha asabadam aviram asapatam.
Okay, great. Okay, anybody else? Right, so we are going to the next one, huh? Next stanza, because we'll be discussing 2 stanzas today. We're planning to finish the last stanza by next week. Okay. Okay. Tittang charang nisin no wa. Then again, we have a small typo again. It's be wa actually. We had to correct sometimes the text is not too good unless we put some emphasis on that. It has to be a preposition over here. Tittang charang nisin no wa. Oh, yes. It's good. Should be okay now. See. Okay. Tittang charang nisin no wa. Sayano wa. Yavatas. Vigata midhu. Etang sating aditeya. Brahmametang viharang idama. Tittang charang nisin no wa. Sayano wa. Yavatas. Vigata midhu. Etang sating aditeya. Brahmametang viharang idama. Okay, you can ask from the groups, group 1, please. Yes, answer it. Please go ahead.
Thank you, Bhante.
Yes.
Titang charang nisin nowa, saya nowa yavatassa vigata middu. Etang satim aditeya, brahma metang viharang idamahu.
Okay, good. Good.
Thank you,
Good start.
Bhante.
Group 2. Group 2. Yes, Susan, please go ahead.
Thank you. I'll go again if no one else wants to. Thank you. Titam charam nisinova sayanova yavatasa vigatamidho etam satim adhitiyeya vakma metam viharam idhamahu.
Etang, yeah, can you go again for the third line? Etang.
Etam satim vakma metam vihar.
I think that's the fourth line. Etang sating.
Etam satim adhiteya.
Okay, great, great.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, good, good.
Thank
Group 3. Yes, Paripurna, please go ahead.
Thank you, Bhante.
Yes.
Hitam Nova Sayanova Yavatasa Vigatamitu Etam Satim Aditeya Brahma Mitam Viharam Idamahu.
Now, etang sating aditey. This one.
Bhante, can I try before I turn off?
I will come to you.
Number 9, is it?
Give us a second. Yeah, we're still finishing the
Hello?
Yeah. Etang sating aditey. Yes, an aspirant. Aditey.
Aditeya.
Aditey.
Aditeya.
Aditey. Brahma Metta.
Brahma Mitam Viharam Idamahu.
Idama. Okay, good. Great. And group 4. Yes, Kibion, please.
Thank you, Bhante. Titang charang nisinova, sayanova yava tasa vigatamido. Etang sating aditeya, Brahma metang viharang idamaho.
Okay, great.
Thank you.
And group 5. Yeah, group 5. Yes, Melinda, let's go ahead.
Okay. Thank you, Bhante.
Yes.
Titang charam nisinova sayanova yavatasa vigatamido. Etam satim aditeya Brahma metam viharam idamahu.
Okay, great.
Thank you.
And group 6. Yes, Tisita, please go ahead.
Thank you. Titam charam nisino wa. Sayano wa yawa tasa. Vikata mido. Itam satim aditeya. Brahma metang viharam idamahu.
Great.
Thank you.
Group 7. Group 7. Group 8. Last one. Yes, Champakla. Yes.
Thank you, Bhante.
Yes.
Titam charam nisinova sayanova yavatasa vigatamido. Etam satim aditeya Brahma metam viharam idamahu.
Great. Okay.
Thank you, Bhante.
Yes. Now I'm going to give the chance to others. So starting with Christine. Yes, Christine, please go ahead.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Bhante.
Yeah.
Titang charang nisinova, sayanova yawatasa vigatamitu. Etang sating aditeya, Brahma metang viharang idamahu.
Great. And then we have Suban.
Thank you.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, good evening, Bhante.
Yes, good evening.
Titang charang misinova, sayanova, yavatasa, vigatamido. Etang sating aditeya, Brahma metang viharang idamahu.
Okay, great. And we have Oi.
Thank you, Bhante.
Yes.
Itang charang nisinowa, sayanowa, yavatasa, vigatamido. Itam satim aditya, Brahma mitang viharang idamahu.
Okay, great. We have
Thank you.
9 Chen.
Thank you, Bhante. Itang karang nisinowa, sayanowa, yavatasa, vigata mido. Itang sating aditya, Brahma metang viharang idamahu.
Okay, great.
Thank you,
And
Bhante.
Billing. Yes. Yes.
Thank you, Bhante. Tiktang charang nisinova, sayanova, yavatasa vigata mido. Etang satim aditeya. Brahma metang, Brahma metang viharang idamahu.
Okay, great.
Thank you.
What you want?
Thank you,
Yes, what you
Bhante.
want? Yes.
Titang charang nisinova, sayanova, yavatasa vigadamito. Etam satin aditya, Brahma metang viharang idamahu.
Great. And finally,
Thank you.
Jenny. Yes.
Thank you, Bhante.
Yes.
Titang charang nisinowa, sayanowa yavatasa vikata mido. Etang satim aditeya, Brahma metang viharang idamahu.
Okay, great.
Thank you.
All right. So you all read the 2 stanzas. Now we are going to go to the contextual translation, probably meaning part of the class. Okay, what does stanza number 8 talk about? This stanza talks about the what you call unlimitedness of our metta, at the same time that our metta has to radiate across the universe. Although the word loka has been used here, it has to be universe, everywhere, because in Buddhism, Buddha talks about 10,000 world system, right? Dasa sahasi loka dhatu. If you look at Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta, it is said that his what you call Dhamma wheel went as far as the 10,000 world system, which of course means that every world system must have a solar system. I mean the planets and solar systems, right? All right, so we'll see one by one. Mettancha sabba lokasme. Now, our metta has to go for the whole world system. That means universe. Now, the word universe is such an interesting word, right? Nowadays, when you see here the word universe, right? When you say universal adapter, that means there's a power adapter you can use anywhere in the world. Otherwise, your gadget has a certain wire that you can only use in one country. So when somebody has a universal adapter, that person can take that anywhere in the world and then can charge or power up the gadget. It's a pretty interesting word, right? And there are so many words that come with what you call universal, right? And you know the famous word that came long time ago, USB. The word USB, Universal Serial Bus. You can use it anywhere in the world. So the same way, universe. Now we have come to a place, even in terms of Buddhism, to disseminate Buddhism universally, not just for one country. So is the metta. So metta has to go beyond a country, beyond a world, beyond a solar system, beyond a system of planets. It has to go beyond everything, universal, right? It has to go beyond. Now, it has to go, but how are we going to put that into our practice? Our thoughts have to be developed to an extent that metta is as such unlimited. It has to go to every being, right? So then how come you are going to exclude the difficult person in your life, in your household, in your workplace, in other places? So metta is such a very broad, expanded practice. So this is the idea that we have to. It further explains manasang bhavaye aparimana. I think we discussed this even in a previous stanza. Aparimana means no limit, unlimited, and manasang bhavaye. So you have a heart that has unlimited metta. And now bhavaye means not the start, okay? Now we already started our metta practice long time ago, even in our life, even in the sutta itself. Now here bhavaye means maintain this unlimited metta. Now, starting metta practice can be a little easier, isn't it? But the problem is the maintenance, right? Maintenance of metta is the most difficult part, because people may come up with certain justifications. I cannot do metta for you. Maybe today I'm not going to do metta. They may have their own excuses when it comes to their objects of metta, right? So, manasang bhavaya, you have to maintain this metta, boundless metta, maintain, right? It is very important. Starting might be a little easier for many people, but the maintenance is the problem, right? Now, when you are running a household, let's say there is a certain thing in your washroom that is going to be broken, but you don't maintain it. But then at a certain point of time, you are wasting water. Maybe there will be a big repair that is going to come and cost you a lot, right? So you are then going to maintain it. Once it is broken, you are going to maintain it if it is such urgent, if it is such important. Now in our life, when we don't maintain certain things, it will cost a lot in our life. Let's say you have anger, you don't maintain metta, then that anger will cost you a lot in your life. It will affect your decisions, it will affect your work life, it will affect your relationships, it will affect your financial stuff, right? We have to maintain. Metta has to be maintained, not just the starting point. How do people only start metta? They start in the morning. When they wake up, I always say, do a breath meditation with metta. And once you finish, you think you have metta. You started it, but then you have to maintain it during the day. How to maintain the metta? You have to think with metta. You have to talk with metta. You have to act with metta. Otherwise, metta is not automatically going to other people, isn't it? It won't go to other people automatically. You have to do things with metta. That is how you're going to maintain. Now here the idea is maintain, not just the starting is important. Maintenance. When you look at certain things, there are people who start off good things in very gigantic ways. I'm going to start my business, but then after they started, they become lazy, laid back. They cannot proceed. Even some people in their Dhamma practice too. I want to practice meditation for 4 hours every day. So the first day they are going to practice 6 hours of meditation, and then it will go back to couple hours less. And then there's a day that they don't meditate at all, right? So we have to look at a number of, we don't need to look at hours. We are going to look at the quality of the meditation. We are going to look for a practical amount of time for meditation. But the practice has to be maintained. You can't sit down the whole day and meditate, right? You have so many things to do. You must be an ambitious person in your life to become more successful spiritually, emotionally, and all that. So when you are doing things, you need to maintain this metta. This is the idea here. Bhavai, yeah? Pali word called bhavai. This part. This is very important. Bhavai. Now the idea that metta has to be started was already discussed at the beginning. Here, maintain. Then, uddham adho cha tiriyancha. Uddham means above, adho means below, tiriyancha means across. Now, how do we understand this term? Uddham. Who is above? Who is below? Who is across? Now we have to understand. You might think, maybe who is actually below, because we are on the ground. You might think about who might be above, maybe the deva. Who might be across, maybe everybody. But how do we understand this? We are not looking at any beings below the earth, because there are people who want to locate these places. Apaya, hells must be somewhere, below. We had to dig in and see. Deva world must be above. So here, uddham adho cha tiriyancha. So uddham means above. That means if you position yourself any realm that is above. Now in the modern day of time, anybody who is above, who are the beings that are living above? Can you think of any being who is above you? It can be a permanent positioning of, higher than you in terms of positioning. Maybe a temporary kind of moving above from you. Who might be the individuals? Who might be the beings over there? Deva could be there, right? Because Buddha talks about Yani the Bhutani Samagatani, Bummani Vaya, Niva Antalikkya. Antalikkya means sky Deva. Are there any other being who is above you? What about those human beings who are going on a flight? They are going 30,000 above. 30,000 above you. It's like that. When an ambulance is going by, you can just think about, may the patient who is in the ambulance be well and happy. May he or she is, get back to normal. In the same way, we think about anybody who is en route to somewhere. May these beings, passengers, be safe. This is kind of a temporary kind of above people, but there may be some permanent kind of, long-term kind of beings above us. Even you are on the ground, maybe some beings on those trees too, right? Those trees, those other places. If we believe that some existence of some humans in some planets, definitely they can be taken too. Any being that is above, human or non-human. Adho means below. Who are the beings that can live below you? You might say, hey, I'm in the 31st floor of my apartment in the building. There may be other beings below me, right? Maybe those beings in the floors, right? This could be them. This could be any other being too, right? Maybe hellish beings, probably, right? Adu. Then tiriyancha. Tiriyam means the Pali word for animal is tirachana. Tirachana. This Pali word, yeah, I'm going to send to you. Because I'm sharing this to you to understand this tirachana. Tira means across. It is said that animals cannot walk straight. They walk across, right? Tirachan. So any being who is across. Now, if you are positioning yourself in a certain place, any being above you, any being below you, any being across, that can be taken as an indication of all living beings, right? So go back to Sutta. Now your metta has to go to all these places. You have to maintain Uddhang, above, Adho, below, Tiriyaj, all around cross. Interestingly, now the quality of metta has to be explained in the fourth line. The quality. Asangbada, Avera, Asapat. Sambada means, what is this Pali word? Sambada. Sambada. Sambada means, what is Sambada? So this is Asambada. Now there was a monk called Rattapala at the time of the Buddha. Rattapala. Somebody asked him, why did you become a monk? He said, Sambodhayang Garavaso Rajasayatanang. Abbo Kaso Pabbaja. Iti Diswana Pabbaja. He said, for him, his lay house was a setback. It's a hindrance to him. And then a place of lot of defilements, kilesas. But Abbo Kaso Pabbaja. Abbo Kaso means sky. Becoming a monk, monkhood or nunhood is like being in the sky. Right? There's no limit. Right? There's no limit for that. And Itidiswana Pabbaja. Looking at this issue, he became a monk. At that time, the temples, there were no temples like as such today. Now the temples have their own ways of thinking, their institutions. But anyways, the word sambodh, sambada, sambodh, they are all similar. Understanding. Sambada. So that means your metta should not be a setback, a hindrance to anything in your life. I think this is the hardest thing that many people are facing. That means when you are practicing metta daily, one of the biggest challenges is that how you are going to bring metta to the next level without being affected by your bad experiences, isn't it? This is one of the biggest challenges. Of course, you have to let go. You have to move on with your life. These are very basic stuff. But in order to bring metta, let's say someone can let go, but how to move on with metta to that level? That is a question. That means your metta should not be obstructed. Your metta should not be constrained for whatever the reason. Right? Understanding the preciousness of the moment, understanding the preciousness of your mental states, understanding and valuing your blessings in your life for the sake of your own healing. You need to let go and move on. That process can help you to have this, what you call, unobstructed, unrestrained metta. Because we know we have to go to unlimited metta. In order to go to unlimited metta, we have to make it unrestricted. Right? That means a lot of people, they are having some issues with having a limited version of metta. So metta is an unlimited version. It is unlimited. It has to be unlimited. I mean, not as a concept. In your practice, in your own practice, you have to bring it to this unlimited level without being restricted. Then, these are interesting terms. You can see A. These were given in a sense of, with an emphasis of understanding the small issues with the metta practice. Averang, Asapattam. Verang means hatred. Veram means hatred. Veram means hatred. Have you ever found out this term in your Pali reading? Vera? Have you ever found out this Pali stanza? Nahi verena verani sammantidha kudachana averene cha sammanti esa dhammu sanantam. Nahi verena verani. Hatred will never be appeased with hatred. It is only by the absence of hatred, the hatred will go away. It is not just a Buddha's teaching only. Esa Dhammo Sanantanam. It's an ancient teaching, right? Right? This stanza has been used by many people actually. I remember former president of Sri Lanka a long time ago, Jayawardena, said this in a conference in San Francisco where the Japan had lots of animosity towards the US. And they actually highly regarded this. And actually they did a lot of things to Sri Lanka at that time. Because this thing that hatred, they had a lot of animosity about things that were done by the other part, right? Because if you look at a lot of teachings, they always talk about that there should be a certain solution for those who are actually being bad to us, mean to us. But if you look at this Dhammapada teaching, nahi verena verani, hatred will never give us happiness. Hatred will never give us any solution. So the word is vera. We have to go beyond vera, avera. The other Pali term is asapattam, sapatta. Now here avera, non-hatred. Avera means non-hatred. Sapattam means enmity. Enmity. Asapattam means there's no end. Now when you have hatred, definitely you are creating a life of enemies. Now you think about in your life, do you think that you all have good people around you? You don't have any problem with anybody? Are there anybody here who had no bad experience with anybody in your life so far? Or that you all had even a tiny little bad experience with somebody that you worked in your life, in your house, in your life, work life, on the road. So we all have been affected, more or less. Is it good? Is it good? It is good. Then we know what is going on, right? But if you were somebody who was trying to react to that person in the same way, then that means you had not understood this teaching at that time, right? That's why the Buddha said always try to be with Kalyana Mittas so you don't develop any dosa anytime. There will be less dosa. But sometimes even you are with Kalyana Mittas, there may be times other people might be mean to you. So when other people are going to be mean to you, try to be safe on your side. I mean, try to make a safe boundary with them. But if it is continuously going on, then you should know how to become wise and then to respond to those people. Not to become mad, not to become mean back, right? So asapattam means whenever you are practicing this metta and maintaining your metta, bhaveya, to any direction, that means you can't create any enemy. You can't create any person who is onto hatred or enmity, right? How many people are there who are not going to certain events because they think their enemy is coming to that event, right? They think their enemy is going to go to that event. They think that when they see that enemy, they're calling that their enemies. They can get angry. They can get this and that. I think all those are failures in their Dhamma practice. I call them the failures, spiritual failures. When you have lots of people like that, even though you are going for a lot of good programs, even though you are going to do a lot of good things, you are not going to practice very well because you have wounds which you have created. That's why you have to look at your life. And if you have made, or if the situations, events made any enemies of those people, you are not going to be with them anymore. But you have to let that go, heal yourself, and then go to those programs. That is how you are going to work on it. Right? This is the idea. All right, going back, metta and sub. So you are going to maintain your metta practice toward any place in this universe. And it has to be unlimited. Definitely, you are going to maintain it. And then direction-wise, you are going to include anybody, any being. That means you can't have anybody like enemy. And the consistency of metta has been discussed here. It has to be unconstricted, unrestricted, and it should not carry any hatred or enmity. Right? This is what we understand through this stanza. Any questions about this stanza before we proceed to the next one?
Yes, Bhante.
Yes.
Can you explain the Tiriyang again? Does it only include the animals or also
No.
overall?
No, animal is not included. I was trying to say a homonym. The English word homonym. Homonym means Tirachana is the Pali word. Tirachana and Tiriyancha are two words. But the Pali word Tiro, that's the word. This is a prefix in Pali, Tiro. Tiro means a cross. This is same in both words. I was trying to tell you these two words. Tirachana means animal. And then Tiriyancha, see. Tiriyancha means so that is kind of a modified term about Tiro. But the word Tiro means a cross. Now here Tiro has been taken as a location. It means anybody who is at the same level. That means now we are here human beings, and then any being that you can see around you, all around, across the globe, across these places.
So does it mean that Triyan is actually including all the beings in the samsara?
Tiriyang, not exactly, because those beings have to be at the same level like you now. Yes, I mean, if they are animals, those animals who are living with, at the same level, they can be included. But there are some animals who are not at the same level. They can be in the sky. They can be even beneath the floor, beneath the earth. So it is just to notify us, inform us that you have to count on any being depending on their location. Because definitely these beings should be either in the sky, either above you, sky or above even a tree or somewhere, and then maybe at the same level, maybe below you.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Now, if you go and take an example of the ocean, now in the ocean, there is a certain level of the sea water which the sun is going to affect. And below that level, what you call, there is no sunlight, right? So you could definitely see that lots of tiny creatures living in the sea at that point, below that level, where the sunlight cannot go through, So definitely there are lots of beings below the human world. That
Bhante, asapatang, can we include someone we don't like?
yes, yes. Now, avera means you know that person, but you had a problem with that person. Asapatang, it can be the similar person or someone who you simply don't like. But the problem is you may not like a person. You may not, you may dislike a person, but don't bring that to hatred. Because we are living with likes and dislikes. But don't bring that like to a greed, dislike to a hatred. Because sometimes you have to dislike things, right? Let's say because of certain attitudes, you may not like to associate those people. It's okay, because you know if you keep associating, you might be in trouble. That's okay. And you don't like a certain food, because if you eat it, you get some allergy. So you have to dislike it. But you don't take it to anger, or you don't take it to hatred. So people or beings who have had encounters, but you simply don't like, maybe the people who have had encounters which you had bad experience. So all these people can be, beings can be included.
Thank you, Bhante.
Yes. Any other questions? All right, save your questions and we go to the next stanza. This stanza is pretty interesting actually, because this stanza talks about something very unique and important about meditation. And then I am bringing this to an attitude. You can see at the end. Tittang charang nisinova sayanova yavatassa bigata middho. Etang satinga sati samma sating aditteya brahmameta. This is also a very important word when you put this word brahma. Metang viharang idama. Now first what we have to understand here. Let's understand how are we going to practice metta depending on postures that we have. You know, there are postures: standing, walking, sitting, lying down. So 4 postures. So how to bring metta to our postures? Do we have a posture meditation, some folks? Have you already known that posture meditation? How do we understand that meditation? What is it called in the mainstream Satipatthana practice? I made it easy for you. Iriyapata meditation. It's a Kayanupassana meditation, right? If you look at Satipatthana Suttas talks about Kayanupassana, Vedananupassana, Chittanupassana, Dhammanupassana. Under Kayanupassana, the first exercise is Anapanasati. Second is Iriyapata. That means you can practice Kayanupassana based on your postures. Now, the sutta says you can bring this metta towards your postures. We'll see. Tittang, you need to bring metta while you are standing. Now that means that meditation practice you did in the morning, only by thinking, may all living beings be well, happy, peaceful, may no harm come to them, is having some secondary thoughts. That means not even by sitting, even when you stand. Why do you stand? You stand for a different, you don't stand for a meditation, right? Isn't it? If you are not walking, if you are not sitting, if you just stand, you stand for another reason. But even at that point, metta has to be developed maintained by. That means, why do people stand? They stand for another reason. Maybe they want to look around, maybe they want to make sure. So that means stand. When you are standing, you have to develop, cultivate metta. That means I am standing with metta. There are other beings who are standing not with metta, right? They want to hunt other people, animals. They stand to see who are the victims. I'm going to pray on today. There may be some beings who are standing just to attack others. But the Buddha says you have to stand with metta. Right? That's interesting. Then Charan. Charan means walking. People walk for many things. People walk to grab something. People walk for the coffee shop. People walk to take a bus. People walk to do many things. But every time when you walk, you have to walk with metta. Interesting. I think many people don't do this. They think it's just a mantra that they sit down and they think about, and that is metta is finished in their practice after that. Then they stand up. Actually, they have to stand up with metta, walk with metta. It is going to be a continuous 3-6-24 practice. Tittang charang, then nisinnova. Yes, you sit down. You may sit down just to meditate on metta, practice metta, but you may sit down for many reasons. You may sit down to eat, you may sit down to drink, you may sit down to have a chat with somebody, you may sit down to watch TV, maybe do something with your computer, right? Metta has to be there. Bring metta to that posture. Whatever you do with your sitting, bring that metta. How to do it? That's a good question. Now, the Buddha says, bring metta while you're sitting. Then you will easily catch this in a way like, okay, I do metta in the morning. It is not that practice only. Let's say now you sit down, you're going to talk to somebody. Then when you are talking with metta. There are people who are going to have a conversation with madness, anger and frustration and all that. So let's say there is a problem that you are going to talk to somebody. You are talking with some patience, some metta. I'm not going to attack this person. I'm going to talk to this person. I want to sort this out in a proper way. If the person is not willing to discuss, then you have to be patient and then see another possibility, another way to solve the problem. In our society, not everybody is same, right? Some people are very open to talk. Some people are very reserved. Some people don't know how to express themselves, right? So we have to deal with all these people. So we should have lots of patience to understand who this is and then to talk with metta. We are going to be patient because we have metta. Tittang charang nisinnoma. Then not even standing, sitting, walking, but also then lying down. Yavatassa vigatami. See here. Sayanova yavatassa vigatamittu. The simple translation is lying down as long as you are awake. But awake means no middo. Can somebody think about this Pali word anywhere else? Middo. Midda means laziness. Have you ever found out this word anywhere else?
Tina Mida?
This is included as one of the hindrances in the 5 hindrances. Panchaniva. Kamachanda, Vyapada, Tina, Mitta. That means Tina is mostly taken as the laziness of your thoughts. Mitta is taken as the laziness of your chetasikas, mental factors. Thoughts are, if you go to Abhidhamma, thoughts are objectless, the qualityless. Thoughts are just giving some energy for us to think. The quality of the thoughts come from chetasikas, mental factor. Lobha, dosa, moha, alobha, adosa, amoha, dana, metta, panya. They are coming from Chetasika part. The quality of a thought coming from the Chetasika. And the energy to run that particular quality is called a Chitta. So they say Chitta Chetasika rise together. Chitta Chetasika take the same object. Chitta Chetasika, perish together. You can't separate them. So here the idea is the laziness of our quality of the thoughts, right? Now here, when someone has no energy, now the quality is not that much helping at that point, right? That means this is a time that person has to take a nap, even a power nap, even a sleep, right? When you are very sleepy, you can't meditate. You see in a retreat, how many people doze off? Huh? They doze off. They're so sleepy. Either they haven't slept last night, either they are not practicing the proper way, but they are dozing off. It's human. But the thing is that this is happening. That means they need a rest now, not a meditation. They need a rest. Without the rest, they can't meditate. So now, yavatassa vikatamiddho means if you are lying down, as long as you are awake because you don't have laziness of the chetasika. No mid. Vigata middo. Vigata. Midda is gone because you are lying down properly. Now you have to bring metta. Think about a moment that you are lying down. Why you are lying down? You might be lying down for different reasons, but you are going to practice, bring metta to your posture. Because when you are lying down, you will be very too cozy. When you are too cozy, different thoughts will come to you, isn't it? So you are bringing metta. Have you ever seen that when people are too cozy, they are past bad experiences hitting them and they're going to have a bad conversation with people who they are with? They are too cozy, they are too comfortable. When they are too comfortable, they are going to have a bad conversation with somebody that they know. Because it's going to be very natural. So, even at the point of lying down, you are going to bring metta. Right? Metta has to go to all the postures. Now, metta is not just a prayer. Metta is not just a mantra. Metta is a 24-hour practice. This is what I'm trying to say here. Tittang, charang, nisinno, asayano. Not even sitting, not even standing, not even walking, not even lying down. It has to go beyond. Now we're going to learn that. Can we practice while we are sleeping? Can we? A good sleep comes from practicing metta when you are awake. You can't practice metta at that point. You are in sleep. Because there is another sutta called Mettani Sansa Sutta. Benefits of metta. There are 11 benefits of metta practice. I will share with you a couple of them so then you will know whether you have metta or not. Because if you don't get the benefit, that means you don't have metta. Maybe you don't practice the proper way. Sukhang supati, you can sleep very well. When you want to sleep, you will sleep. How many people are struggling to sleep in today's world? Sometimes they are going to take medication, they are going to drink different beverages, they are trying to go after different food, doctors, but the medication is metta. Sukhang supati. You practice the proper metta according to the Metta Sutta, you can sleep. You don't try to sleep. Never try to sleep. Huh? People are trying to, okay, I'm in the bed, I have to sleep now. But sleep will not come to me. Don't try to sleep. If you try to sleep, sleep will never come to you. Get ready for the sleep, sleep will come to you. Right? That's right. It is same to anything. Huh? If you are trying to go after certain things, you won't get it. But if you are getting ready for that in the proper way, not seriously looking after that, things will come to you, right? Then sukhang pati bujjati. When you practice the proper metta, you will wake up in the proper way. Some people wake up to a very bad dream, huh? Nightmares. Why is it? They have been dreaming a lot. Every time they are dreaming, they are not sleeping properly. Not even that. Sukhang supati sukhang pati bujjati napapakang supinam pasati. They never see a bad dream. Bad dreams don't come. Are there people over here who don't see any dream? You are such a lucky, blessed person. You don't dream anything. Because every time you dream, you are awake in a different way. Look at the following day. It's really struggling for you to, feel you want to sleep again. Napapakang supinam pasatis. You don't see any bad dreams. And then Manussanang piyo hoti. All humans are going to be liking you. Amanussanang cha piyo. Amanussa. Deva, Naga, Mahidika, Bhuta, Kumbanda, Peta, anybody. They're all going to like you. Okay? Then Manussanam piyo hoti, Amanussanam piyo hoti. Devata rakhanti. Deva are going to protect you. Devas are watching such people who have lots of metta. Right? Tuatang chittang samadhi. You can concentrate your thoughts very fast. Now, for those people who are asking, Bhante, we cannot concentrate, a lot of distraction. Hey, practice metta, go, practice metta. Then you can easily concentrate your thoughts. Not even that. Mukha vanno vipasita, your skin color is going to be very pleasant. You don't need any cosmetics. I don't spend a lot of money on cosmetics. Metta is the cosmetic. Right? Yeah, metta itself is the cosmetic. The list keeps going. Asammulo kalanka. Not even that. It says you will be saved from attacks from people. Poisonous attacks, other attacks. You're going to have a safe escape from all these things. And then when you die, you will die with lots of sati. Right? Some people are thinking, I want to die in the bed. Huh? You are not mindful while you are dying in the bed. I mean, if it is possible. Say, asam mul kalanka. You die consciously. You know you are dying. You are ready. You know you are dying. Not that you die suddenly. Don't know what was the last thought. And then uttaring appati vichanto brahmalokupagato. The quickest, fastest way to be reborn in the Brahma world. So metta is such a very beautiful practice. If you practice the way how the Buddha explains in the Metta Sutta. Now, going back. 4 postures. Then etang sating aditya. You need to bring this mindfulness to all these 4 postures. That means from today onwards, please keep in mind, when you want to think, when you want to explain to someone that I practice metta, that metta practice has to go to all the postures, not just one posture. I mean, I don't devalue, I don't demean the people who are practicing every day kind of a 10 minutes, 5 minutes meditation on metta. I'm telling you, it is not enough. It is not complete. What I'm saying is that bring this forward onto your all the postures, 24 hours, 365. How to bring? Always bring metta to all your daily chores, activities, everything. Don't make it a spiritual practice. There are people who are doing all the bad things and think about, now 10 minutes, I'm going to be a good person. And then for the rest of the hours, says, okay, but I'm at least 10 minutes a good person. 10 minutes good person, right? But metta is not that kind of a 10 minutes, 5-minute meditation only. The proper metta practice, in order to get the benefit, full benefit, it's very important to bring this to all postures. If you do so, this is going to be the perfect mindfulness, the proper mindfulness. Right? It is like normally when people think about mindfulness, they look at vipassana, like everything is anicca, dukkha, anatta. I mean, you bring this metta to that level and then you see anicca properly. Why? You had a certain bad experience with somebody before, and then that bad experience is anicca. Maybe he was out of good mind, He criticized me, she criticized me. Maybe he badmouthed about. She badmouthed about. But I have to forgive this person, Maybe this person probably might have been out of the proper mind. And I don't talk to that person anymore. I'm not with them also. Maybe they have already passed away. Why do I carry this unnecessary garbage in my head? This is a trashy thing. This stops my healing. This stops my peace of mind. This has to go to that level. Otherwise, people are carrying all the garbage stuff, carrying on, going forward, and asking us how to practice metta. It's not going to be possible. It's not just a 5-minute, 10-minute meditation. You can't do it in a retreat. This is your personal life. You have to heal yourself first. Otherwise, it won't work. So this is the perfect mindfulness. Huh? Now, aditya, it has to go to all these postures, this awareness of metta, and then this level of metta is called Brahma Metang, Brahma, Idama. Oh, Brahma. This Pali word is interesting too. What is Brahma? Anybody? Brahma? B-R-A-H-M-A, Brahma. What does Brahma mean? The Pali word Brahma, B-R-H-M-A. No thoughts about it? Brahma? B-R-A-H-M-A. Brahma means highest. Now, by the time of the Shakyamuni Buddha was teaching, many people in this Indian society, they believe that there is someone called Mahabrahma. Actually, there is someone called Mahabrahma even in the Buddhist realms, cosmology. But the problem was, those people believed that they were made by the Mahabrahma. That was an issue. And the Buddha said, you were not created by anybody. Right? It is said in Hinduism that the 4 castes, they have actually 5 castes. The Brahmins, and then Kshatriyas. Brahmins is the highest priestly class who are doing the oblations to the god. So they said, you human, you cannot talk to the Deva, Brahma, Mahabrahma. You have to come to us. We will do the gap, the bridge to the Deva, So they are the priestly class, Hindu priest at that time. And then the Kshatriyas are the, what you call, the royal kings, prince, princess class, which the Shakyamuni Buddha was a part of. And then the Vaishyas were the, what you call, the merchant classes, the merchants, the traders, and Shudras were the least privileged class. They were considered as slaves all the time. And then there were other small castes in India at that time. Bamboo makers, weavers, and all these people. So now the Buddha said, the Brahmins and Hindu people said, Brahmins were created by the Mahabrahma from some part of the body. Okay? Actually, I think from the thighs, Oh no, from his mouth. And then other people, they were created by him from different parts of his body. The Buddha said, no. The true Brahma, in the way you call, I mean, if you look at your origin, we were created by our parents. So he called the Brahma, the word Brahma is more suitable to be attributed to the parents. You see, Brahmati Mata Pitaro, your mother and father, they are the Mahabrahmas. Right? So the word Brahma is highest. If you want to call somebody who is the highest in your origin, they are the parents. Right? So another, there are so many contexts of Brahma. You see, Brahma Vihara. What does Brahma Vihara mean? What does Brahma Vihara mean? Anybody? What does Brahma Vihara means?
Sublime abode.
Sublime abode. When I ask this question, sometimes I say, Bhante, it's a place. It's a place. Yes, I know it's a place. There's a temple, Brahma Vihara. But Brahma Vihara, highest forms of living. Highest forms of living. That means if you want to live high in your daily life, you have to practice Metta, Karuna, Mudita, Upekkha. If you are not practicing those 4, your attitudes, your living is not high enough according to the Buddhism. It's not high in terms of how people classify people in their own status. So here Brahma means etang sating aditteya Brahma metang vihara. If you practice metta as such, with these postures and incorporating all the previous attitudes, ideas about the metta, then this will become the highest attitude that you can have in your life. Brahma metang idviharang idama. Metta is the starting point of that highest form of living. That means if you have spent a day in your life without metta, that could be the lowest day of your life. Right? Isn't it? If the Buddha says, if you practice metta and at the same time you bring metta to all these activities in your life every day, all those days are full days, highest days, high days actually in terms of spirituality. If you have not been able to practice them in your daily life, they're going to be not as such. Right? So the overall idea of this stanza is that bring metta to all your postures. It doesn't mean that you are going back again to certain statements like those mantra type meditation. People misunderstand. You can do it as a guidance every morning. But what the metta that I'm talking here with the sutta is that you have to bring metta to all the conversations you are having with other people, all the other activities. Even you sweep the floor in your house, you are sweeping with metta. Why is it? Then you might otherwise think, if you are with other people, why only me sweeping the floor? Right? Why am I the only person who is taking care of this house, this garden? Because you are sweeping, you are cleaning without metta. Let's say you are cooking. You are cooking with metta. That means you are doing it some happiness. Not thinking that I am the only person who is going to cook for all the other people in my household. You are driving with metta. You are driving on the road. If somebody wants to overtake you, let them go. Right? You are very fully cooperative on the road. Let's say somebody is making a lot of mistakes on the road. Right? And you are getting so angry. Who gave you the license, to drive on these roads? You are not as such. You have some metta. You are taking care of yourself. You are behaving in the proper way. So you are practicing metta on the road. Right? You are enjoying other things in your life. You are doing other chores, other activities. Let's say you are working. Workplace could be a place of a lot of challenges to many people. There are people who are giving you a hard time. Maybe when you are working with other people, clients, customers, bring metta to all these places. Right? Then you will feel the true benefit of metta, because the Buddha asks us to bring to all the postures. So going back again for the two stanzas, the first stanza here, the 8th one, it talks about how to maintain it. The beginning, starting can be done by anybody, but the maintenance is the most challenging thing. You have to maintain. Why you have to maintain? Because you have to bring to all the postures by making it the best mindfulness and making it the highest form of attitude living in your life. All right, any questions about the second stanza?
Bhante, the yavatasa, how do you explain in this context the meaning?
As long as you are awake, as long.
Oh.
Preposition, as long as you are awake, because you are awake because you are not sleeping. No midda. Midda is not there because you are still awake. Yavatasa means as long as you are not awake, because you have no midda. That means you are lying down. So it's just an indication of your posture, lying down. That's it.
Oh, that means lying down but not asleep.
Yeah, lying down without sleep.
Okay.
You can take that way.
Okay, thank you.
You want more information, then you will go to Vigata Metta. That means I am still lying down without sleeping, means I have no Metta yet. Yes, Susan, any question?
Yeah, I have a question. I think I missed the literal meaning of idhamahu.
Idamahu. Idamahu means it is said that this is the highest form of living. It is said. Idamahu. Idang ahu. Ahu means said. Given in the passive voice. All right. Any questions about today? During restlessness, how to try maintain the metta? First, you have to give a rest to yourself. I think we discussed that. Giving a rest to body is very important. Time to time, we need a rest. Because if you are giving enough rest to yourself, you can minimize akusalas. Can we think about some activities, some of the events, some of the ways how we can give rest to us? Let's say a good sleep. There may be somebody who is not sleeping properly, consistently. Now, because of this lack of sleep, all that person's following days will be very hectic and very annoyed. That person gets annoyed very fast because that person doesn't have enough cognitive capacity to think. So that means rather than looking at I am restless and what to do, it is better to think about how to rest myself in the proper way, and then to look at what I can do with the Dhamma. So take enough sleep. What about the food? There are people who don't take regular meals. When they don't take enough food, when they don't take meals, they easily get annoyed. They don't have enough capacity to think about. Right? They are starving, but they don't say we are starving. Right? They have messed up in their daily life. So that will also lead up to certain arguments. Right? If you see a lot of arguments come from people who don't eat properly. Right? What are the other ways? Sleeping, maybe lack of sleep, good sleep, maybe avoiding meals and not staying fit enough, right? Physically, mentally not stay fit enough. This also lead up to certain. So I think it's better to rest us in the proper, not too much. If you rest too much, you'll be distracted. Rest enough. Everyone's resting is different. I can't say this is the proper way. I mean, you have to think about how to rest yourself. Then you don't have a lot of uddacha. Right? Uddacha comes because you are not properly giving you enough rest. Try to work on those aspects in your life. There may be more, and then you'll be able to tap into your spiritual practice easily. But let's say even after being so, you are resting enough, but still the distractions come. Then that means you haven't learned the meditation or whatever the thing in the proper way from a teacher. That means the teacher has to assess you at that. Yeah. Then teacher will give you a proper meditation, proper practice. And then
Bhante,
question? Yes.
Bhante, these two verses, does it mean that it is more, metta is like feeling, manasam, because you said heart. It's not so much of the mind, the thoughts, but is it a heart that you're moved by unlimited?
Definitely. I mean, many people have metta at the level of the mind, but the problem is to bring that metta to the heart. Actually, if you properly practice metta according to these stanzas, your metta will discharge from the heart. Now, many people's metta discharge from the mind. Right? So then the past experiences, bad experiences come out. So the level of, or maybe the exact place of proper metta is heart. It has to come from the heart. Yes. how the metta can come from the heart? That means you must have developed in the proper way. You must have developed it onto the all postures. So then it will go to that particular level and then discharge across. Now, when somebody wants to say that I have so much respect, I have so much caring for you, they are talking about not the mind. It comes from the bottom of my heart, the bottom. That means this metta also should come from that bottom, right? Because in an earlier stanza, we talk about the mother, right? There's a mother who has one son, but that love is a personal love, come from her heart. It's not just a mind love. Whatever the son does, she's going to support him, this son or daughter. So the proper metta should come from heart. How does metta come from heart? You have to develop metta and then it will go to your heart and then it will discharge from the heart in the proper way, how we have been discussing in the mettas. Yes, Anne, you have a question?
Yes, Bhante.
Yes. Go ahead.
Bhante, we talk about not having hatred when we do metta, but how about sadness and worries when it arises when we're doing metta? When we have come to sending metta to hospitals, sometimes sadness arises. And sometimes we see images of animals being tortured, things like this. Bhante,
Okay.
please.
All right. Now, this is a very good question about metta and other forms of mindfulness practices. Actually, why other barriers like sadness, frustration, annoyances, probably sadness mostly. She's talking about hospitals. Now, we have to think about what are we doing. Now, let's say there are people in the palliative care, terminal wards. They are not getting any better. So we are going to practice metta to them. At the same time, we have to understand their level of life too, because we know there is nothing we can do, right? So if we understand that there's nothing we can do, but the metta is so powerful, if you keep sending to them, then we will lower the sadness and do it with a positive mind, because they won't get this metta from others, right? Now there may be two people, an ambulance is passing by, right? Someone is thinking, oh, someone is going to die now, so sad about it. But someone thinks, what can I do to this person? I'm becoming more, mindful about what I can do. I'm thinking about, okay, I can send metta to this person. May you be well and happy. May you get back to normal. See the difference between these two people, right? It's like someone passes away. There is someone who is always crying, but the person who passed away needs a lot of good karma from you, but you are crying and not giving good karma to that person. Yes, we may cry naturally, but we have to think about, what can I do now? He is gone, she's gone. What can I do now? That thought has to come from some mindfulness. That means if you think that while you practice metta, you come out with some certain emotions with regard to a situation of that metta, that means you have not practiced a certain level of reality, understanding the reality kind of thing. Because if we think about what to do, that comes from a certain practice, sati sampajanya practice, anapanasati. Then that anapanasati breathing meditation actually helps us to think about what could be the best thing to do for those affected people. So next time when you practice metta, if you think that sadness arises, that means you haven't looked at what you are doing in the proper way. You are doing metta because this is the only thing that I can do. This is the best thing that I can do. When I'm sad, that means I am creating akusala, right? Isn't it? Sadness is dosa, because you are in clash with the event. you are in clash with the things that happen to those people, right? So try to practice more breathing meditation, at the same time understanding what could be the best thing to do for those people who are affected. So you can practice metta. Does it make sense? Okay.
Yes,
All right.
Bhante.
Yes.
I
That
also
means
well, I also bring myself to understand that this is their karma.
we don't
Yes,
know. I mean,
yes.
only the Buddha knows whether it is a karma or
That they are
because
in
not every experience people are going through is not karma. The Buddha says in many suttas. There may be weather problems, there may be inorganic problems, there may be karmas, there may be chitta problems, there may be universal truths. We don't know. Only the Buddha can say that. We don't need to give the meaning of their sad life. What we have to do is do what we can. Don't interpret what they are going through. Never interpret other people's suffering.
Yes.
We can't do that. We don't know, we don't have the capacity, and we are not supposed to do it. It's like that, let's say there is a disabled person. Oh, this disabled person must have done a bad thing in a previous life. And you are bringing karma violence, Every disabled person has done a bad karma. You are blind because you done some bad thing to somebody's eyes. Who knows? We never know. Best thing is that, oh, this person needs attention, help. I gotta do something what I can. That's it. That is your practice. Never ever interpret other people's suffering. That is going to be a hindrance to your Dhamma practice.
Thank you,
All
Bhante.
right.
I do.
We could actually wrap this up by transferring good karmas. Today we learned about how to maintain metta. Starting the metta practice is not enough. Maintenance is more important at the same time. When you maintain, you are bringing metta towards all the postures and then making it the highest form of attitude in your life. And metta is not just a meditation. It's not just a prayer. It's not just a mantra. It is an incorporation into your all daily thoughts, activities, and speech. This is the abstract of today's lesson. And next Thursday, we are planning to go to the final objective. What is the objective of the metta practice? This is very important, and we look forward to doing that. Now, let's think about all the good karmas. May all the good karmas we've been making today be transferred to all the departed ones. May they be well and happy. May they attain the supreme bliss of Nibbana. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Idam me jnati nang hotu sukhita huntu jnatayo. Idam me jnati nang hotu sukhita huntu jnatayo. Idam me jnati nang hotu sukhita huntu jnatayo. Also, may Deva Naga Mahitika receive and share all these good karmas. May they be well and happy. May they protect and bless all of you for good health, quality of life, and prosperity. And may they also finally attain the supreme bliss of me. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Ittavata cha ammehi sambatang punya sampadang sabbe deva anumodantu sabbasang patti siddhya. Ittavata cha ammehi sambatang punya sampadang sabbe bhuta anumodantu sabbasang patti siddhya. Ittavata cha ammehi sambatang punya sampadang sabbe sattha anumodantu sabbasang patti siddhya. Akasattha cha bhummattha devanaga mahiddhika punyantang anumoditva chirang rakkhantu lokasasanam. Akasattha cha bhummattha devanaga mahiddhika punyantang anumoditva chirang rakkhantu desanam. Akasattha cha bhummattha devanaga mahiddhika punyantang anumoditva chirang rakkang tumang paranti chirang rakkang tutmang sadati. Also, May we be in the company of Kalyana Mittas till we attain Nibbana. Thinking thus, we're going to make the wish. Imina punya kammena mame bala samagamo satang samagamo hotu yava nibbana patya. Finally, may all the good karmas we've been making today be supportive and helpful for all of us to attain the supreme bliss of Nibbana. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Abhivadana silissa nichang vadha pachaino chattaro dhamma vadhanti ayuvanu sukhang balang ayurarugya sampatti sagga sampatti me vacha ato nibbana sampatti iminati saminjatu sadhu sadhu sadhu. Okay, with that, the Pali class is over today. I'll be seeing you next Thursday. Wishing you a good night.
Thank you, Bhante.
Thank you, Bhante.
Thank you, Bhante.
Bhante. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Thank you.
Thank you very
Thank
much,
you,
Bhante.
Bhante.
Thank you.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Take care, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Take care.
Thank you, everyone.